Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That's great. We are so thrilled to have everyone here for our official ribbon cutting ceremony and our middle school dedication. We certainly have wonderful weather that is shining over us. My name is Nancy Spitulnik, and I'm the interim superintendent in Douglas. And we are so happy and excited to be welcoming you to our newly renovated middle school and to this ribbon cutting ceremony, which provides an official opening and dedication for our school. We're also celebrating for the first time that Douglas has a true middle school with grades 6, 7, and 8. And you'll hear some student speeches later, and they really are very thrilled to be all together. This school is the crowning achievement of a long journey that has been frustrating at times, but also very fulfilling and rewarding. I do want to point out our construction sign for the project, and that was saved for this dedication ceremony. We thought it was very fitting to have it join us as we dedicate the new school. And thank you to Jeff Collette and his custodial crew for hauling it around and setting it up. We're going to be doing more formal introductions and speeches in the auditorium after our ribbon cutting, but we wanted to get everyone in the mood and highlight our great students who are excited to be part of this celebration. So we are pleased to start with 2 short musical numbers by the esteemed middle school chorus under the direction of music teacher Derek Ternulo. The first number will be Cantate Exultate by David Wagner with a solo by Aubrey Harris. This will be followed by Best Day of My Life by the band American Authors with piano music played by Middle School Dean of Students Robert Godbout. I will turn it over to Mr. Ternulo.
Stretch my hands up to the sky, we dance with monsters through the night. Oh, oh,
Beautiful job, everyone. I keep telling them they sound better than some high school and college groups that I've heard. They really are a wonderful group. We will now raise the official flag for the middle school and actually also the elementary school. And we want to thank Mitch Cohen, the chair of our school building committee, for obtaining our new flag that was flown over the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And we have a certificate that we're going to mount and place in the auditorium lobby. And our honor guard this morning, under the direction of Mr. Godbout, is from Douglas Boy Scout Troop 316 and Girl Scout Troop 11296.
Call. That face.
Wait a minute, slight logistical problem.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's strength and unity. It's been a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens and has been a prominent icon in our national history. Today, the flag consists of 13 horizontal stripes, 7 red alternating with 6 white. The stripes represent the original 13 colonies. The stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White symbolizes purity and innocence. And blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice.
Thank you, Scouts, for that really touching ceremony. And I'm sure that this flag is going to fly proudly over the middle school and the elementary school for many, many years. We are now at the exciting point in our celebration when we do the official ribbon cutting. And Mitch, can you just hold up the scissors? You have to see these guys.
They're really sharp, too.
This is going to be done by Mitch Cohen, representing the school building committee that has worked so hard to make our elementary school and renovated middle school a reality. And after the ribbon cutting, we are all going to move inside to the auditorium for the remainder of the ceremony. And we just ask that you let the honor guard and the chorus students go first so that they can get set up in the auditorium. I will turn it over to Mitch. And I also want to introduce Mr. Jack McCarthy, who's representing the Mass School Business Authority, and Senator Moore, representing our legislature, and we thank them, and we will continue to thank them for the funding for these great projects. So I'll turn it over to Mitch.
Before we actually cut the ribbon, one of the things, well, many things that we changed in this project is we got rid of the old really falling down portable classrooms that were standing right here. They were here for about a dozen years, and until 2.5 years ago, that's where the kids learned. And the teachers did a great job, but the building suffered, and eventually we were able to build a building next door and fix up the middle school that you're about to see. So before I cut through, I'm going to take a quick look around and see what we've been able to accomplish as a town over the past 2.5 years. Thank you. Those who attended the ribbon cutting for the elementary school about a year ago know that I made a small comment about how we try to save money everywhere we can, and this ribbon was the same ribbon we used for the elementary school. I cut it right on the edge so we could tape it up and use it again. However, this is the last project, the last building of our project, so I think I'm going to give it a fair slice down the middle this time. And afterwards, please join us all in the auditorium. Chuck, on that side, and the ushers. Spot.
We want to welcome you back to our official dedication ceremony. And we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by 3 of our members of the Middle School Student Council, as well as our Boy Scout troop. And this is going to be followed by the singing of the National Anthem by the Middle School Chorus. Please rise. first hired to be the interim superintendent, they didn't tell me about this building project. It wouldn't have changed my mind, but maybe I would have been better prepared to handle all the myriad tasks associated with helping to get everything completed. After being on the job for just 19 days, I realized that I had already handled between 300 and 400 emails related to this project. But I've learned a lot about building construction since I started. I now know about things like PCOs, ERUs, FF&E, hydraulic elevators, irrigation cisterns, and my personal, also BIM 360 punch list software, which is fascinating, and my personal favorite, room lighting sensors and light programming. And I'm also happy to report that after finally figuring out what was wrong with the light sensor in my office, my light stayed on the whole time I was in the room yesterday. So I'm very thankful for that. However, in the building project, I've also met and worked with an amazing group of people who have put their heart and soul into creating this beautiful new school for you. And the back of your program lists a number of these groups, and I'd like to acknowledge those people who are here today to help us with our celebration. As I name each group, please stand if you're a member of that group and remain standing. And please hold your applause until all the groups and people have been recognized. First is the School Building Committee, including Chairperson Mitch Cohen, who have put in numerous hours overseeing the project for the town. So if you're on the Building Committee, please stand. Our town administrators, Mike Kaczynski, Jean Lovett, and Bill Cundiff, for all your hard work making sure the project ran smoothly and keeping track of the money. And any other town officials who are here, including Board of Selectmen and other boards and committees, if you would please stand. All past and current school committee members, for your dedication to our students and for your vision to bring these wonderful new buildings to Douglas. Our school committee? Past and present school department members for helping to guide and oversee the project. Middle school administrators Bev Batchelder and Bob Godbout, business manager Courtney Keegan, facilities manager Jeff Collette, director of technology Donna Souza, former superintendent Nancy Lane, former elementary principal John Campbell, and former business manager John Iacobucci. So would those people please stand? Any teachers and school and district administrators who are here, for your patience with all the packing and moving, and for everything you do each day to support our students, and all other school staff, including our hardworking paraprofessionals and custodial staff. So if those people could stand. Come on. Members of Pride and the Douglas PTO, who helped lobby for our schools and supported all the efforts to move the projects forward. We have some of those parents, thank you. And we also want to recognize our wonderful professional contractors, many of whom are here today to help us dedicate this wonderful building. From Danisco Design, who's the architect for the building, Donna and Ken Danisco, Lino Philippi, and Craig DiCarlo. I think I saw a couple, thank you, Donna. From Heary International, our project managers, Tom Ellis, Al Calcagno, and Marwin Abi Elias. I saw a few of those people. And from CTA Construction, Paul DeRose, Joe Gonsalves, and Matt DeLeo. And we also want to acknowledge MSBA, our Massachusetts School Business Authority, for approving our project and providing the money that was needed to create our wonderful schools. And as I mentioned, Jack McCarthy is here today. And also Senator Moore and the legislature for putting this program together for us so that we had the money to do this project. So how about a big round of applause to thank all these special people. And I also felt that we should acknowledge all of our parents and citizens for your willingness to support the building and renovations of the schools by approving the funding that was needed and supporting a high-quality school district. So I think all our parents and citizens also need a big round of applause. We now have a few people who would like to talk about our great middle school and reflect on the wonderful journey that we've taken to get here. We're going to start with our State Senator Richard Moore. I promised him he could go first since he has to leave for other obligations and dedications this morning. So Senator Moore.
As Abraham Lincoln would have said, the world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but I don't think they're going to forget the middle school chorus anytime soon, at least those who were here, because they did an outstanding job. One of the many pieces of legislation that I've sponsored over the years was the bill to create the Massachusetts School Building Authority, earmarking a penny of the state sales tax for school construction. It's one of the bills about which I'm most proud because it helped to provide modern school buildings here in Douglas and throughout this region. Since it was established 10 years ago, it has returned more than $500 million, to the B, to the towns in the Senate district that I have the honor to serve. When you figure that's roughly 50% of the school construction costs, in the last decade, this area has spent $1 billion on upgrading and building new schools. This school is a concrete example of the benefits of a legislative initiative. It's the culmination of the hopes and dreams of Douglas students, parents, school personnel, and ultimately a majority of the residents. As such, this is truly a remarkable achievement. There are many here who deserve to be congratulated, and Nancy has identified many of them, certainly the school committee, school building committee, architects, construction personnel, and others who have lived through the project as well. But I think the taxpayers of Douglas and the taxpayers of the Commonwealth, who are equal partners in providing the funding, also deserve our appreciation for this impressive project. During one of my several visits to the construction site over the last couple of years, I asked one of the construction workers what he was doing. He replied that he was installing sinks in the cafeteria. Later I asked another worker what he was doing, and not surprisingly, given the economy of recent years, he replied that he was glad to have a salary to support his family. And finally, I met a worker whose reply was, "I'm helping to build a place where Douglas students will be inspired to learn all they can to become successful in the future." That man had vision. He could see beyond the installing of pipes and the earning of a daily wage to the creation of a state-of-the-art center of learning to benefit future generations of Douglas students. This is the vision that so many of us here in this room and in the community have had for this new school. Of course, any school building, no matter how impressive, is secondary to the quality of those who work here. The foundation for education in the Douglas Public Schools has always been the many committed, competent, and caring teachers and staff who have taught countless Douglas students over the years. They now have an educational facility equal to their exceptional quality of faculty and staff. Our collective hope, expressed by our enthusiastic presence here this morning, is that teaching in such a great facility will help attract and retain more outstanding teachers who will continue to educate and inspire their students. Equally important, we collectively hope that students of today and tomorrow will find this new facility especially conducive to learning, become as well prepared as they possibly can be for future success in college or career. The next spot that I need to be at this morning is a bridge dedication. I think it's sort of fitting because here we have an educational bridge, bridging the students from elementary into high school through the middle school. And then I'm going to a bridge that's a transportation bridge, hopefully keeping people from driving into the Blackstone River. So both are important in our society, and certainly none more important than education, which really is for the future of all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Moore, for your support and for your wonderful words. Next, we are going to hear from Mitch Cohen, who is the chairperson of the school building committee.
Thank you. Thank you again to Senator Moore and to Jack McCarthy, who was here for a few minutes. This two-building project was really a big financial stretch for the town. We're all aware of that, and we absolutely could not have done it financially without the help of Jack at the MSBA and Senator Moore at the legislature, who helped guide us along both groups from the very beginning through today, and continue on for the next year or so as we turn this really from a construction project into a paperwork project until everything is wrapped up. As I stand here, I think about one of the last times that I was in this room talking about school construction projects was 14 years ago this month, when we had the special town meeting to approve the high school construction project. And as many people know, we view this current project as really the second half of that project, because we recognized even back then the need to add elementary school space and improve the schools. And I think it's wonderfully fitting we're in here in a vastly improved auditorium in the middle school. For those who remember what it looked like a couple of years ago, that's terrific. Now, for the rest of the words that I have to say, I want to thank my daughter, Ariella. Ariella, stand up for a second. I needed a speechwriter for what I needed to do this morning, so thank you, Ariella, for helping out. Thank you all for coming to reopen the middle school. I hope you're all getting ready for Halloween. When you get outside, look at the beautiful orange and red and yellow leaves. Probably you heard we fixed the middle school. In a short while, we are going to take a tour of the middle school. I hope you like what we have done. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun today. And she adds, let's eat cake, which we'll do after the remaining words are spoken. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mitch, and thank you, Ariella. Those were wonderful words. Next, we are going to hear from Sonia Bouchard, who is the current chairperson of the school committee, with a few words for us.
Good morning, everybody. As I said, I'm Sonia Bouchard. I'm chair of the Douglas School Committee. I am going to have just a few words to say to you. I didn't know I would be speaking with you. But that is okay. And it's ironic. I was just speaking to someone on the school building committee this morning about how my three kids do theater, and I think it helps them when they're speaking in front of others. So I'm grateful for the theater and the arts in my life, for feeling somewhat comfortable to speak with you this morning. I just want to take a moment to truly tell you how blessed I feel to be able to serve on a committee in this town that I call home. I'm not a native. I was an implant. I've been here for 14 years, and it's definitely the place where my family and I really feel that it's our hometown, and it's the village mentality of this town, and how you can come to something like this and know everybody, and how everyone's kids know one another, and everyone looks out for each other. And it leaves a really warm place in my heart to live here and to be able to represent you on a committee. And I want to thank the amazing administration team that we have, the faculty that we have, the staff, the teachers, and mostly the parents. Our kids are amazing, and the school committee gets notes back all the time about just how wonderful our kids are when they're out in the world. Scott Casino will mention it often that when the band goes down to Walt Disney World this year, we did get a specific letter back just about how amazing our kids are, how polite and how generous and just how good they are. And that's a reflection of where we live, and it's a reflection of you. So much thanks to the parents and to the kids in our schools and to the whole town. And even bigger thanks for the ability to do things like this, to offer such a wonderful, wonderful place of learning for our kids to grow and continue to grow. So thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy your tours and the cake.
Thank you, Sonia. Sonia. I apologize for not mentioning you were going to speak, but you did a wonderful job. And sometimes it's nice because it's really, really from the heart, and we appreciate that. Next, we have the representative of the Massachusetts School Building Authority, and they are the people that we apply to with a long application in order to get the money and the approval to go forward with these projects. And we couldn't have done it without them, so we're very pleased to introduce Jack McCarthy, representing the MSBA.
Good morning. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Good morning. Right. So the mission of the Mass School Building Authority is to partner with Massachusetts communities to promote the design and construction of educationally appropriate, flexible, sustainable, and cost-effective public school facilities. And these projects here have certainly exceeded that ideal. Benjamin Franklin once said, an investment in education pays the best interest. And we're proud to be your investing partners in this project to the tune of our shares of a little bit over 54%. And total in this community from MSBA has been in excess of $38 million. Senator Moore spoke before me, and I don't think you guys have any idea of the amount of work that Senator Moore does with the MSBA in all of his projects. He and I were talking today. I think I owe him one more project so we can get to 30. But he knows everything that's going on in these projects. He's consistently and constantly calling us up to make sure that we're treating his communities fair, and I think we are. But he's been a great leader. He was one of the sponsors that created the MSBA, so I thank him for my job. But it is what we do today. The process that we use is so much better than it used to be. It was a real catch-as-catch-can type thing. And we've imposed some discipline, which most of the districts, the first time they deal with us, at the beginning is saying, oh, you guys are really a pain. Why are you making us do this? But by the end of it, they're saying, now we get why you made us do that at the beginning. We do focus a lot of work on the beginning, but then there's no surprises at the end. So it's worked great. Your local leaders did a great job of picking your consultants. I know that Nancy went through them all, but it's a great team that you have assembled here. I know you have some punch list items that you're still working on, which is common for every project. And I think Mitch had said, you know, MSBA is still going to be here, but not just for paperwork, which is a pain, but we're also here for commissioning, and that is to make sure that all of the systems work. So we'll be with you this whole season to make sure the AC works, the heat, and all of those, you know, the roof doesn't leak, all that kind of stuff. So we're still with you. You're not done. We're not done with you, and you're not done with us yet. I'm sorry that the chorus left, because as you can guess from my job, I travel all around the state, and I go to a lot of these types of ceremonies. But that was by far the best middle school chorus I've ever seen. I hope that they decide to compete in MICA in the spring, because I could see they could get a gold medal. And if Aubrey Harris was on The Voice and I was a judge, I would have turned my seat for her. So I thank you for inviting me. Enjoy your new building, and I can't wait to take a look. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now turn to a very, very important person to this whole process, and that is our middle school principal, Mrs. Batchelder. Bev?
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. It's a joy to be here as part of this historic day. And in preparing my remarks for this morning, I came across a history of the town of Douglas, written by William Andrew Emerson and published in 1879, about 135 years ago. It was fascinating to read about the struggles the early citizens of Douglas continue to have, and that they overcame, to build and establish quality schools for the town's children. In his history, Mr. Emerson recounts an excerpt from the Douglas School Committee Annual Report of 1877, a key year when the committee made several important educational advances. First, the committee decided to prescribe a full course of study for 3 years in order to receive a high school diploma. And second, It recommended to the town the establishment of a grammar school. Mr. Emerson quotes from the report as follows: "By doing this, we hope to give to each scholar who shall pursue the full course a fair and practical education. It is hoped that this plan may be successfully carried out, and the attempt is now gradually being made. With the hearty cooperation of the townspeople, much can be accomplished, and our schools will be advanced to that grade where they will be on par with the majority of similar institutions in the state." Thus, it is clear that even from the earliest days of our town, Douglas citizens have repeatedly stepped up to the plate to provide high-quality educational facilities and programs, with each generation paying its debt to the next. In fact, the importance of school buildings has been recognized as a fundamental element of society since the beginnings of America and beyond. Today, roughly a quarter of our nation's population, including our youngest citizens, spends the majority of their days in school buildings. In recent years, research has shown that the quality of school buildings strongly impacts learning. When classrooms are clean, healthy, safe, and light-filled, students and staff are more comfortable, less prone to illness, and more focused on their studies. This commitment to providing high-quality school buildings and programs has never been easy, but rather costly and difficult. In many instances, Douglas residents of the past had to contend with similar difficulties to the ones we face today: tight budgets, challenging social change, and limited resources. Nevertheless, one generation after the next has committed to doing what it takes to provide an excellent education for the town's children. I believe our early forebears would be rejoicing with us today because, like them, we are facing forward, ever striving to do the best we can by our children so that they can enjoy the very best schools in the state, on par with any other. We are part of that rich legacy from our past that has brought us here today. On a personal note, this day has a special meaning for me, having served as an educator in Douglas for 34 years now. As a young teacher, I remember when this building was built back in 1986, 28 years ago. I also remember the controversy that surrounded the building of this school at that time. Resources were tight, and it was a major commitment on the town's part to build a new grade 6 to 12 school. But after much debate, the town decided to go ahead. The words of a respected elder citizen of Douglas remain in my mind. He said, "I remember being around when our current school was built and how excited I was as a young man to see our new school become a reality. Now, I want that same privilege for my grandchildren." The excitement we all felt at the opening of this school was amazing. In the intervening years, the building sustained the inevitable wear and tear, and once again it was time for a major renovation. The first year I became principal, 5 years ago, we were a grade 3 to 7 intermediate elementary school, facing overcrowding with 12 portable classrooms that were 15 years old, 5 lunch periods, insufficient classrooms, a deteriorating floor and roof, and building systems reaching the end of their useful life. With the approval of the school building project, it became possible to fix significant problems with both door and window corrosion, to repair and replace the HVAC system, to install new roofing that remediated serious leaks, and to install a sprinkler system. Most exciting of all, we have finally placed students in the appropriate facility as a true middle school. Mr. Godbout, our wonderful Dean of Students, and I will never forget the excitement expressed by the students and staff when they walked into this building for the first time prior to the start of school. We heard plenty of enthusiastic comments such as, "Wow, this is incredible." Many parents pause to take their children's pictures in front of the striking glass entrance to the cafeteria. Students and staff especially enjoy the vibrant yet calming color scheme and the hard surface, low-maintenance linoleum floor that is soft and quiet underfoot, but also strong. One other design feature we love is the wood accents on the walls, made of a rift-cut red oak that is not only beautiful, but also durable, and as we are always looking at value, one of the most inexpensive hardwoods. Students and staff also enjoy the spacious and inviting library, the state-of-the-art auditorium we are enjoying now, the welcoming benches in the cafeteria, perfect to savor a conversation with a friend, and of course, the technology-rich environment with an interactive whiteboard and LCD projector in each classroom, and all students enjoying a one-to-one iPad device. Finally, we appreciate the administrative offices that are conveniently located and equipped with a buzzer system and security cameras. We definitely feel as if we have arrived home, and that is truly a wonderful feeling. It is indeed an honor for us to be the principal and dean of students in such a beautiful school with such an outstanding faculty and amazing students. Thank you, Town of Douglas, and all stakeholders represented here today for your vision, commitment, passion, and perseverance. As a result, we now have a beautiful school in which to work, learn, and grow. A school that will help prepare our students to give back to their community and to take on the challenges of the 21st century. This day would make our forebears proud that here, once again, we have acted as a community in the best interest of the children of Douglas. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for that history. It's always wonderful to put things in perspective. And now, most importantly, representing the great students who are benefiting from the beautiful building, I'd like to introduce student council members Ashley Fanoff, Keely Lungem, and Travis Buskirk. If all three of you want to come up at the same time, and then you can just move in and out.
The new first ever Douglas Middle School has more to offer than your average middle school. For one, we have a brand new middle school. Not only that, we have spacious, bright classrooms that create a comfortable learning environment for students, equipped with air conditioning, new desks, and new chairs that are much more comfortable than a wooden or metal chair. Also, we have exceptional technology in Douglas. From our interactive whiteboards to our iPads, the technology in the Douglas Middle School exceeds the standards of students, teachers, and the community. Last year, at the elementary school, we shared small wooden cubbies with another member of our homeroom. Now we have our own locker where we can store our bags, books, and other supplies with ease. Other than the great new features in the middle school, the clubs and sports add another enjoyable addition. The 8th graders had the ability to try out for junior varsity sports at the high school this year, and that brought some of the excitement from the high school down to the middle school. On game days, signs are posted around the school encouraging team members and teams as a whole to play well during the game. Some sports include junior varsity soccer, field hockey, and volleyball. We also have many clubs and activities too. The school hosts a show choir, a baton group, and this year, the school is introducing a drama club. Many students participate in these activities, and many are looking forward to the drama club. The new Douglas Middle School is a great privilege and an overwhelming gift. Thank you to everyone who made this project happen and who dedicated their time to make sure our student body had a beautiful school to start the 2014 school year in. Thank you for listening. We are all gathered here to celebrate the grand reopening of the Douglas Middle School. This school has undergone major renovations in order to fit the needs of the current century. Though we're still working some of the small issues out, I'm very excited to be back in this school. Our school looks wonderful with its new renovations, and I'm very happy to watch the benefits of all the new technology included. I started going to this building, back when I was in daycare, so I've always had a second home here, knowing all the hallways like the back of my hand. Being able to use this building again is truly a privilege. It's like a comfort zone, really. I believe everyone is happy to have our lockers again and a building to call their own, which we haven't been able to say in some past years. It's truly amazing to know that I am part of the first 7th grade class Douglas has ever had that gets to be located in a real middle school. In the past, it was always the intermediate elementary, housing various grades, or originally, the high school. Now, we actually have a school with just grades 6 through 8. Having just grades 6 through 8 means that we also have traditional middle school activities and events that we didn't before, such as our student council, which used to only have grades 6 and 7, is actually complete with the 8th grade. I have already noticed that having a real middle school makes a great addition to our town and school system. Students seem even more tight-knit since moving into this new school building. I think it is very beneficial to have this school in our community since it allows all grades to be more spread out. Thank you to everyone who came to celebrate our reopening of the Douglas Middle School. You've truly come to watch history in the making for our town of Douglas. I'm so thankful that I have the ability to speak at such an event. I'm also thankful that I will be able to continue my education in this redone school building. The students that attend the school will be able to carry the skills it gives them further into their lives, wherever they may end up.
Hi, my name is Husker. Most of you know me as a student here in the new Douglas Middle School. Always being one to do something last because I'm the youngest of my family of 5. I'm proud to be able to do something first. During the years in Douglas, my siblings had some great experiences. My older sister Sarah was always doing the right thing and had a lot to do with band. My brother Tyler was the athletic type, playing for the town of Douglas for baseball. My other sister Lindsay had been a part of the art club while she did her schooling. Kelsey and I are the last 2 that are still going through school. She never did much, but this year she joined the volleyball team. With me, I've always done everything different, been more active, and I can say that I think I'm the best at all. With the new middle school, I'm the first in my family to get something different. We have the 21st century skills and technology with our iPads. Becoming more advanced has its ups and downs. Now being new to this technology, we are still in the learning of it, and some are better than others. Just because we have iPads doesn't mean we're better. We have just recently become a true middle school, including new sports and a middle school student council and band and chorus. I am extremely grateful and honored to be a part of some of the new middle school team, including the first ever middle school cross-country team. So far, we have done an excellent job and have seen people outstanding improvements and beating their times. I'm also on the show choir team and have I'm also on the show choir, and so far it's very fun. Because of being and having a male voice, I'm a huge contribution to the team and a school role model. Being on the student council, it has made me a better person. Being on the student council has made me a better person, leader, and role model of the Douglas Public Schools. This year is one of the most challenging years yet, in being in so many activities. I've learned to be a better multitasker, and I'd like to thank this time for you listening, and a big thank you to our superiors for our generation to have the first ever middle school here in Douglas.
I think it's always wonderful to hear the wonderful new school ideas from the perspective of the students who are actually here. And these are very exceptionally well-spoken students, and I think they really do represent the quality of education that we have in Douglas, which we're all very, very impressed with. So we are now going to present to you a short slideshow called How We Got Here. And this is going to highlight the building renovation process and all the work that was accomplished in order for us to have this wonderful place today. And we thank Scott Villamere for putting this together for us. And we're just going to move the chairs a little bit so we can see the screen. And then we're going to see this wonderful slideshow. So this, as you know, is our brand new Douglas Middle School. There are the portables. I'm told there were interesting critters who lived underneath. And this is a video, and I guess everybody was cheering and grateful when they finally came and started taking the portables down. It felt really like the start of the project and that something was really going to happen. It's amazing to see these machines. So this is the main entry under construction. And this is what it looked like a little bit later. And there it is in July, just before we opened. We're still trying to put it together. And here it is today. And you can see how warm and welcoming it is. This is the auditorium that you're sitting in under construction. And there we are today. This is the hill near the school, which remains a big mystery. They were never quite sure why it was there and what was underneath. This is the Library Media Center under construction. And a little bit more construction. And then there it is in July. We're just starting to get unpacked. And there it is, totally finished with books and students. And it's really a beautiful part of the school building and the center of the school. So this is the main corridor under construction, and it's moving along. And then we'll see it in July, just before we open. And then here we are with our lockers that the kids enjoy in the hallway. This is the old entrance to the auditorium lobby, and I'm told the door was rotten and crumbling. And these are some shots from what it looks like today, and where we were just standing for our flag ceremony. And the wonderful playground. And there is our beautiful new Douglas Middle School. So thank you to everyone who made that possible. Thank you, staff. So this ends our formal program for today, and we invite you to tour our great building and then to join us in the cafeteria for refreshments, complete with wonderful cakes that were provided by Heary International, our project manager. I did want to mention a few things for you to keep in mind as you walk around the school. First, if you go into classrooms, please don't touch any of the items. Teachers take a long time to set up their rooms, and they need to come back on Monday with everything in place so they can teach. You may notice that some of the doors still have some holes and we're missing some locks. And this is part of the project that's still in process. There are a few other things that we're waiting for, but on the whole, everything is bright and shiny new. And also, if you could keep the refreshments in the cafeteria to make it easier for our hardworking custodial staff to clean up. And we want to thank everyone again for coming to our ribbon cutting ceremony and building dedication, and for all of your support. And Douglas should be very proud of everything that's been accomplished. Have a wonderful morning.